Hi, my jazz friends all over the world. My name's Sandra Sherman, and I simplify jazz for you. Today, I'll show you my easy chord melody arrangement of Autumn Leaves. But easy doesn't mean boring. You'll learn all the real jazz guitar chords and how to weave the melody in between. So please hit that like button and subscribe for hundreds of jazz chord melody tutorials. While the first chord is A minor 7, the song is actually in the key of E minor. We start with, in the A section at least, with a melody followed by chord kicks. Kicks are chords that are accented by the entire band. So the first pair of melody and chords is here, E, F sharp, G, followed by a C, and that last note you can either play as a single melody, as a single note, or harmonize it as a chord. That's optional. That's perfectly fine. Or we harmonize it with an A minor 7 chord. Here's your A, your root. Always memorize that so you can move your chords around. Okay. By the way, the beats, the song starts at beat 2, not 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then you push that on 4 and now we have the kicks. These ones you need to play. And that's our first 2-5. We have a lot of 2-5s and 2-5-1s going on in this song. That meaning A minor 7, only up until the G string. And by the way, I'm playing hybrid picking. That means I'm using my pick along with my middle and ring finger for now. I just got 3 strings here. No pinky. If I use the B string as well for later chords, I'm going to use that pinky on the B string. But for now, it's just these 3. Going to D7. So 3, 4, and. Okay, here's the first combination. Now let's go to the second pair of melody and chords. We go to D. And again, we bridge over to that B, and this can optionally be harmonized with a G major 7 chord. That's the 1 chord of A minor D G 2-5-1, the jazz cadence, most common chord progression in jazz. So, followed by the kicks that you need to play, and that's G major 7. To C major 7, the 4 chord. And again, we have 3, 4, and. Okay, so the second pair is. Now we go to the third pair and we stay down here with the melody now. This one, this A being harmonized. Now we go to a minor cadence, the 2-5-1 in minor. In E minor, the 2 chord is F sharp half diminished. Here's your F sharp. And bar overall 3. And now we need the pinky, by the way. And the kicks are F sharp half diminished down here. That's F sharp, E, A, and C. You can also play it like this. I use my thumb because I like this round, and not because if it's so flat you could mute the strings. So this for me is better. F sharp half diminished to its 5 chord, the B7. You can leave the ring finger here. It's the same chord as the D7 we had here. Here's your root. So you go. So the third pair was optional chord. And that was it for phrase 1, and I'm gonna repeat that for you now at slow tempo. 3, 4, 1. Check out my 35 beginner chord melody jazz standards if you want to add some real popular standards to your repertoire. You get the PDF tabs and the Guitar Pro tabs, including standard music notation, and of course you get all the detailed video tutorials. Grab yours now. All right, we are now at the first ending, then everything will be repeated and we play the second ending, which is different to this. But here's our next melody and chord combination. We're down here on the B, that's the 4th fret of the G string. And this one is harmonized by the resolution chord E minor 7. We had this chord already in the beginning at A minor. Here's your root A, so move this to E and you get an E minor 7. Again, this is optional. And now it's followed by kicks, and these kicks are now an E minor 7 chord here. That's your E, the 3rd and the 7th. And going to E7 sharp 9, that's the Hendrix chord. It's actually a jazz chord. So E7, you know this from the D and the B, plus now the sharp 9th is up here. And I strum through that actually. If you want to do 2, make sure to mute the E string, both E strings actually. Okay, or play hybrid picking if you want it a little softer. Okay, so we have, here we go. This is phrase 2 for you at slow tempo. 3, 4, 1. So after you repeated the first A section, that's the first phrase actually, we now go to a second ending, and that one has a different melody up here. And this one you don't harmonize. You could, but I think it's just difficult for no reason, okay? We have now for chords. It's actually just an E minor 7 chord, the same you had in the first ending. And I do something called sidestepping. You go to the left and back in again. Make sure this is the correct rhythm. The sidestepping is always on 2. 1, 2, and. So you want to be back on 2 and. Okay, here's phrase number 3 at slow tempo. 3, 4, 1. You can help to keep the free videos of this channel running by donating via the thanks button below the video, or become a paying member and enjoy perks. The B section is melodically different and a tad trickier, but we'll go through this together step by step. We now start on beat 3 and. Okay, so that's E, pull off to D sharp, back to E. And then followed by usual chords. Now the chords this time are, we want to go to this chord. This is a B7 flat 9 without the root. Here's your root, right? B7 flat 9, and we chromatically approach it from a step below. That's just a little trick we can do. Okay? Then the next melody and chord pair starts right off that F sharp where we already are. Move out, and we play the resolution of the B7 now, E minor 7. So that's the same chord we had before, but now with the pinky on top. So now you need to have your middle finger here. Play twice, 1, 2, and regular jazz rhythm. And now I want to go to E7 sharp 9. That was this chord. So that's E minor 7 and that's E7 sharp 9, but just moving your index in. But again, I chromatically approach it from D sharp. So what we have now is our E minor 7, 1 bar of E minor 7. Then moving to the left for a D sharp 7 sharp 9. And going to E7 sharp 9, okay? So the second pair was, we came from here. The third pair melody, G, F sharp, G, going to this A, and we harmonize it with that A minor 7. That's the resolution of the previous E7 altered chord. Followed by lower A minor 7 and D7 cluster chords. So that's again A minor and D7. We had that in the first phrase actually. So the third pair is, and the last one for this phrase, we now go up high. You move from here, we want to go to the 7th fret, but we can't just move out here, unfortunately. We need to have the index finger on here because we're changing positions now. 7th of the G string, the octave, here the D on top, 10th fret. That's your melody. And this one you can but don't have to harmonize again. That's a G major now. So with the B on top, this gives you this G major 7 voicing that we also already had. Followed by usual kicks. After G major, we always had G major to C. And that was it for phrase 4. That was a little bit longer, so I played slowly for you too now. Here we are at the last phrase already on the high E string. And then we have block chords. And block chords mean we harmonize every single melody note for the next couple of notes. This one, we now have an F sharp half diminished, a 2-5-1 again, F sharp half diminished, B7 going to E minor. Okay, the first one we harmonize with this inversion here. Here's your F sharp, right in the middle. F sharp, half diminished. Twice. Then we take the root position. Here's your F sharp in the bass. We had this before. Twice. So you go 2 for each. And the last one is the B7 chord. And we already learned that we can harmonize that with a D sharp diminished. This time we play it down here. Here is your D sharp in the bottom. Okay. And now we need to go up here, and we're still on B7 flat 9. So what can we do? The thing is, with diminished chords, they repeat themselves all 3 frets. So 1, 2, 3, and again 1, 2, 3, and we have our note on top that we need for the melody. So what we do is, go up here, and now we have a descending motion, E minor 7. I play the E in bass, and then I just play the upper 3 strings. And I go down now in half notes. So 1, 2, E flat minor 7, 3, 4, then D minor 7, and make a little break. So I play all 4 and then just the upper 3 with my fingers, going to its 5 chord G7. Here it is. Then we add the 13th because that's the melody now. Okay, so. C13, 9-13 actually. Here's a C9 chord plus the 13. We let go of the root. We don't need that for those high string voicings. Okay, then we play the G in a melody. B going to B7 again, and that is the D sharp diminished again. Here's your melody. Play the F sharp again. Then the G, I slide to it. open B string, and we end on an E minor voicing. That's an E minor add 9. And open G, B, E string. Strum through it with your pick, oops, or your, okay, with your pick or just a thumb, whatever you prefer. Okie dokie. And here is the entire phrase number 5 for you at slow tempo. If you like chord melody tutorials, please check out my chord melody playlist up here on YouTube with hundreds also of beginner-friendly chord melody tutorials. Please give this video a fat thumbs up if you liked it, because it's really important for me as a YouTube creator. I hope to see you next week. Servus, baba.